Here is the 1996 Holmes 16-inch oscillating pedestal fan model HASF-1701. So what I'm going to do in this video is that I'm going to do a teardown and show you the entire design of this entire fan and why there are some flaws with it as well. So here we go. So for starters, we're going to take a look at the grills alone. So the front grill is made of very thick wires, um, but it's very well made. It's very durable. But here's a problem now. As you can see, all of these lines it has very tight spacing, and it with a thick wire gauge, it pretty much prevents the airflow from flowing through properly. So and especially with the original blade set being having aerodynamic problems, it's pretty much why these fans tend to not have as much good airflow as their competition. Now, here's the side view of it. So, as you can see, the front grille has a bulky design. It's very spacious, but compared to the back grille design, it pretty much impacts why Holmes had a hard time with his aerodynamic issues, and it's because this is sloped inwards. It's pretty much rounded from the back instead of being straight like an average fan should be, and that's because they wanted to make a unique design for it. I'll give the credit for Holmes putting a handle on the back grill. Most fan companies today, they cannot do something like this at all. But anyways, I'm going to take the grills off and show you the blades itself. Alright, so the blade you see here is a Honeywell blade. This came from a Quiet set. And as you can see, it has a huge amount of spacing between the leading edge and the back grill alone. It has a very large amount of space everywhere, including between the vents and the blade hub itself. And this is exactly how a fan should be designed. And this is what prevents aerodynamic issues. And as you can see, the leading edge is pretty much straight. It's not inwards. So this blade has a very, very great advantage compared to the Holmes blade, which I will show. Now here is the Holmes fan with the original blade, and as you can see, this is what the blade looks like. Decent material, but the problem is, as you can see, the edge is pretty much going inwards and it's almost lining up to the rest of the blade here. It seems warped, but it's not. This one is in good condition, thankfully, but this is not what a blade should look like, especially a blade for good aerodynamics. This is actually not the best aerodynamics I've seen. This blade should be pitched more like this. But think back to the grill design, the back grill design specifically, and it being sloped. So pretty much, if this were to be straight, you would risk the blade breaking from it scraping up against the back grill, especially when you're trying to tilt the fan. But there is a very, very little amount of spacing between the vents and the blade hub. Now there is air flowing through, and it flows through the back here, I guess, but it's not much as it should be. And I'm surprised these fans do not suffer from overheating issues. But why is this designed this way, you might ask? And they pretty much did it just so they could accommodate this blade cap right here. So now the problem with this blade cap, well, it makes it look nice. It makes it look like a one-piece set. The problem is that the blade cap, the threads, they're deep below the rim of the blade cap when they should be aligned with the rim. And of course, with this being deep, and it's also because of no average blade cap would actually go past this once you reach this. And now here's the worst part of it all. The point where the blade is supposed to sit onto the shaft, it's also not aligned with the rim. It's far below the rim, which is the reason why this is all the way to the back. And therefore, it's the reason why Holmes had to pitch their blades like this. So anyways, we're going to move on to the motors. Now, here is the motor alone. Now, people tend to say that these motors are small, but they're actually the same size as any other fan motor. Now, what makes this look small, and this goes back to the design of the back wheel right here. And as you can see, it's pretty much goes inwards as well. It pretty much sits like this. And pretty much what this does is that it's covering this front piece right here. Now, let me show you how actually big this motor is. So, for comparison, we got a Lasco fan motor from 2010. So, tell me which motor is smaller now. Now for side-by-side comparison, we got the two motor covers. So on the right, you got the present-day Lasco motor cover, and on the left, you got the 90s Holmes motor cover. So these two motor covers, they're almost the same size. So this is the front. Now here's the back. So what made the Holmes motors look smaller is pretty much the entire thing is round, and therefore it makes it look a lot larger. And the motor frame, it makes it look small alongside with the back wheel, while the Lasco motor looks average size for today's standards. Now, here is the top view of it, and while this motor cover looks smaller, keep in mind that the Lasco threads are pretty much outwards. This is where pretty much the screws are placed in, right here. And this is pretty much why these motor covers look smaller, but this is pretty much it. Here are the motor covers side by side. So on the right, you got the present-day Lasco motor cover, and on the left, you got the mid-90s to early 2000s Holmes motor covers. So they're pretty much here at the same size. The thing that makes it look small is the shape. Now, let me turn these two around and then you could see for yourself. So let's start with this one. Then we'll start with this one. So as you can see, the reason why the Holmes motor tends to look smaller is mainly because of the shape of the motor cover being round. And it looks more larger to the Lasco motor cover, which with the skull shape, it makes it look a lot smaller just to fit the gearbox. Now here's the top view of these two motor covers. So technically they're still the same size. The only difference is that with the Lasco motor cover, keep in mind that the front cover is screwed on and those extenders are right here. The Holmes motor cover, the front cover, it pretty much attaches right onto the motor. There are no extenders for it. So there you have it. That's the motor covers alone. So as you can see, this is pretty much the end look of these late 90s, early 2000s Holmes pedestal fans. And that's pretty much the reason why these fans tend to suffer in terms of performance. But at the end, these are reliable fans. They're very decent quality, and they tend to last a quite good long time if you take good care of them. But that will be it for the video. So until next time, thanks for watching.